But, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, if you know, you know. I know you just got your stream alert. And get a hunya. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad you're here. It is now time for philosophy, so please let me give you your disclaimer. If you're not interested in personal development, religious concepts, this one's a little bit religious here today, or we talk about like God and stuff, so I don't know if you like turn into piles of ash or stuff like that, fall back. But if you're not interested in personal development, anything of that nature, you only want live 24-hour stock market news and trades brought to you by Carl's Jr., then you're not going to appreciate this. And we do this because we think it helps with business and success and conducting ourselves and making sure we all are able to accomplish our goals and get on a successful path in life and, even manage life beyond just monetary because, monetary and non-monetary kind of go hand in hand. So that's why my biggest advice for success is never be in a place you don't want to be. So I'm not trying to mislead you, not trying to force anything on you. That's why I'm literally telling you this because, I don't want you to waste your time. I don't want you to get bothered. We love you. We want to make sure you're here for stocks as well and you're here for the good stuff. So I'm giving you what you need to know. That's it. If you feel the need to leave, go ahead. If you have to tell people, I'm going to ban you. At that point, you're just, you're being Michael Scott, and it's okay. But yeah, that's it. I hope you're ready for this. And for my people who love it, I got something for you. And honestly, let me, even before I get into the philo, let me just give you a quick reminder. Follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity. No, that's not what I'm just kidding. What I was going to tell you, think about this. Remember last philo when we were going to do this? And what happened? We got cut off. Isn't that funny? So this isn't the philo I was going to tell you. I have something new today. But we got cut off. We've this has been a long day we've almost went 5 days without philo. So, we're here. And like I even said it there on that day that we did get clapped. It was funny because you guys remember what I said when I was getting clapped? I was just telling people, hey, if you don't support this stuff, but you want to make money, you think we have a good community, you think we're good at what we do, and honestly, whether you think that or not, the numbers don't lie. We kill it. That's it. Like humbly, God gets the glory for that. There's a lot of positive, good people. The philos, there's stuff responsible for that. So that's what I'm saying. Support everybody. Any side-eye jokes during this. We could ban you. We could do this. We could do anything, honestly. But just think about this. I said that last warning. It wasn't even a warning. I was just trying to keep it real with you. This is the talks I have to my boys where I'm like, hey, if you don't like what I believe in this, you don't just stop getting so involved with it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But think about it. We got cut off that day for technical difficulties, but it's better that we're all here together than not. I'll promise you that. You see what I'm saying? So whether you like this moment or not, you should support the people that do like it, because if we do good and we're successful, you're going to be successful as a result. That's it. If we're all in the good mindset, we're able to go. So it's like, why would you not want, unless you're a damn demon and don't want other people to be successful, it doesn't make any sense. So that's what I'm saying, though. But I think it was a funny, I didn't plan that out. And I think it was a good wake-up call, too, because it's just like, honestly, it would be a lot worse if there was no philosophy. What if there was nothing? What if we stopped this at 10 a.m. just like a lot of people do? Nobody does this all day. That's it. We could go to the gym. We could go do a lot of different stuff. So it's good to cherish this and value it. But ultimately, not only just me, not the philo, but what we have here together, the community of people into this. And if one of us is good, and if it's a different story. We all do good. So that's why you want to encourage people. So I don't want any non-encouraging spirits. I encourage you to examine yourself. If you're listening and that's what you're on, because it doesn't make sense. You want to make money, you should want us performing at the best of our abilities. That's it. So I think that I had to say that. I had to, because I can't forget that it messed with me a lot that the philo got cut off that day. That's why I was like, interesting. But we're here now, and we haven't had one in a while, so I'm glad. But this is going to be an interesting one. I have a lot to talk about for today. It's a lot happened over the weekend, a lot of different stuff, and I got to do some self-reflection. It was weird. How this philo came about was very, 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 very weird. That's all I could say. It's just very, very weird. I'll share. It's going to get very personal. I will tell you, because I came to a realization yesterday myself that I would like to share with you guys, because I think a lot of you probably have to deal with this, and I think a lot of you guys go through similar stuff, and it's just a matter of like how. And then yesterday I was on Instagram. That's what I'm saying. There's so many different things, because I was even on Instagram yesterday, and somebody even asked me, they're like, how do you believe in God when, like, they said me believing in God makes me feel like I'm fake, just because they do so many things. They're like, I just feel like it's not genuine. And I was just like, bro, how do you think I feel? I think we all feel fake when it comes down to some of that stuff. And we could go on that for ages, but it kind of related to this self-reflection that I want to share with you guys, and it's how to handle this. But what we're going to talk about is fate. And this is why I say it's funny, because I listened to something. Somebody sent me something, and it was from one of these it was from a philosophy channel, and it brought up these 3 stoic things, and it talked about fate. So I'll share it with you. But I think it was funny how I found it, because somebody sent it to me. Okay? And this is where I think God works in mysterious ways, because I don't answer messages. I don't even like looking at it. Honestly, I posted some stuff. I look at my Instagram, and then I see a comment, and you could usually see when it's going to get negative. You guys know what have you ever looked at an Instagram when it's like somebody messages, it says reply to your story, and then you see the first couple of words? You guys know what I'm talking about? You don't? Yeah, I can see the side eye from a mile away, right? So I'm like, okay, well, I was like, I knew that's because I don't check. I don't go in there. I wasn't supposed to go in there. I ended up going in there, and I'm looking at it, and I see this, and I'm like, screw this. All right, I'm about to whatever. And I do one more little, all right, my little finger scroll, get me out of there. And then I see a name. And I think he's hilarious. So shout out to this person, because they're in the cult, and they're amazing. God bless you. What do you think the name was to make me open up? This is why I'm saying it's funny, right? Why do you think, what do you think the name was that just made, I was like, all right, I have to open this now. I had to. Only, and you guys would know. And I think that's why I was like, God, you're funny. You're really, really funny. Let's see. Moo, Jesus, The Lion King, Peach, John Nathan. I don't open those. I don't open anything that's making, because I don't know what they mean by that. So when people do cult stuff sometimes, or they making fun, I don't know. I wouldn't open Josh. You guys know what I would open. In my damn DMs. There's only one name I'm going to click on. It was ironic, because that was the actual name. No cap. The name was Selena. I was tripping out. I was genuinely tripping out, because I was like, funny. It's an actual Selena. Like, no cap, just a real Selena. A girl named Selena sends me a DM, and all that was in it was this video. She didn't say anything else. No, I didn't even know. I just had no idea who this was. That's why I was like, okay, like, what the hell is this? No. But it led to an Instagram thing, and I clicked it, and it was Stoic principles, and then it went over these 3 concepts. So then I listened to it, and then, bro, I'm telling you, I loved it. It stuck with me all weekend, and it was something I kind of needed. Because it just had me thinking. And then it brought up these 3 things. And some of you brought up some of this stuff. I'm glad that you guys are familiar. And it brought up these 3 principles to living life and how you should do it. And one of these like Greek words is called amor fati. And it means love, fate. That's it. And it's funny because the concept is what we've always talked about. It's this concept that you love what happens because ultimately you know what's yours is yours. You know that everything happens for a reason. So by loving fate, you could handle situations a lot better. Honestly, this is something I've already believed in, right? But it was just, I love how it was phrased and I listened to it, but it was a reminder. As always, I've been telling you guys, I give you reminders. I need reminders too. That's why I was like, it's funny. That's why I'm like, this gets really, really interesting when I put all of this, because I wasn't going to open up any DMs. It just had to be Selena. But then it was this, and then it was the reminder I needed was amor fati, love, fate. But this is what, I mean, then this is why I started thinking. This is where it got me. It helped me all weekend here and there, but pretty much lately, I'll just tell you this. There's been times lately in my life where I have not been amoring fati. I've noticed that. I could sense it with my peace at different times. It all depends on the situation. When it comes to stocks, I amor fati. You guys have seen me. You'll see me go up and down. I don't give a shit. I'm used to it. I do know where my faith is in that. But then I'm just like, I try to figure it out. And then literally I started thinking about everybody else, and I'm like, I'm sure I'm not the only one. So let me ask this. The question is, when you don't love fate, when you don't amor fati, when you don't remember this concept that whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Like, you have to love faith. If you truly believe and you truly have faith, honestly, especially as a man of God or someone who believes in that, the question really is, has everything not worked out in your favor? Do you really not believe it? But that's what amor fati means. It means I enjoy life. I'm going to take life as it comes, whatever happens, because I do know, I could get worked up over an event. Anything could happen, but usually fate ends up working out in all of our favors. Honestly, every single step you've done, if you guys changed anything in your life leading up to here, some of you had weird relationships, you had a weird job, you were probably weird in school, all of this, you probably did this for a little bit, you had a period, you were working there, you were in there, but without that happening, fate would not have brought you up here. Fate, God, whatever you want to call it. Amor fati. You got to love it. You really do. And losing that lack of love for it, that's when problems start. But then, like I'm saying, the question is, when you don't amor fati, why don't you love fate? Something happens in life. Why is it so hard to forget this concept? We could phrase it in Greek. We could frame it as what's yours is yours. Everything's going to work. God is good. Frame it however you want. But why don't you love it at times? Think about that. Amor fati. Honestly, and I'll tell you guys this. Honestly, I thought about this too. Like, sometimes this shit sucks, you guys. You know that? Like, do you know, like the answers, like, again, with positivity, it's hard. I hope you realize that. Some of you, I don't know if you do. I hope you do. That's why some of you getting a little bit depressed on times that you're not doing this. God bless you. Because yes, it shouldn't feel easy. Like honestly, like stuff happens in life, even myself. That's why this is why this concept got me. Because I will catch myself in there. I'm like, God is good. I know it's supposed to. I'll be like, I hate that. I don't want to say it. But I do. I don't like it. You think all these damn times I want to amor fati? No, I don't. This is bullshit. Where I have to, you telling me I got to sit down and take it. The coin tells me no. This happens and this. Like, do you think, like, as a human, that, like, it's, ugh. That's what I'm saying. Like, honestly, F that. Sometimes I feel you. Some of you, all this, that's how I used to be back in the day, and I never embraced positivity because I was just like, F that shit. Like, it's stupid. I was like, it's fake. It's fake. Like, something doesn't make sense in certain scenarios. It bugs you. Okay? I'll tell you that right now. So that's okay. It should. That means it's challenging you, honestly. Because that's when I really realized that's when it tests my faith. That's really what it is. I hope you know. Amor fati, loving fate, my friends. I kept repeating that to myself this weekend, but it felt weird because I kept repeating something not based on God. But then it made me laugh because it did take me a couple days to make it click. Amor fati, love fate, is just love faith. That's it. It's having faith that everything is going to work out. And that's why I was like, That's why I said, I have to, like, why don't I love faith sometimes? And that's the question now. Something bad happens. You're going through something. Why is it hard to accept that fate? Why is it hard to deal with that? Why don't you amor fati? And that was the question I had. And then I kind of started to think about it, and it was just like, it's probably because you wanted something else to happen, or at least for me. The times where I really I can't love the fate, something happened, but it wasn't what I wanted. But you see what I'm saying? And sometimes that happens in life where some stuff, but we could brush it off, or like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we could let that happen. We could do this, you know what I'm saying? But nah. It just, when we really don't like it, it's really hard to accept. Or you had a different expectation, honestly. That's what happens. Your expectation was different, so whatever happened, something good may have happened, but it was different than what you expected. Honestly, like your long-term may have been good, but you expected to be a millionaire after a year. So it would make sense why you don't like certain things. You may not be able to accept the fate of where it is, or some of you accepting the fate that it's going to take time. That's difficult because you had a different expectation. Honestly, some people with God, I failed with God early on. It's very tough for me to believe in anything of that nature, even positivity, all that. I think a lot of people is because their expectation. Even like I said, positivity. You're expecting positivity to mean, oh, hey, how are you? I'm going to be great. Yeah. Oh, no, everything's fine. I'm never going to feel bad. I have 24 hours a day. All 24 hours a day are magnificent and marvelous every single minute and second. I love it. Oh, it's so beautiful outside. Oh, wow. No, that's not what it is. Let's just be real. That's what you expected. So then you were like, okay, I went to the gym. I've been thinking good for 24 hours. And then you wake up and you're tired. You're like, I thought this is positivity. Why do I feel like this? Why am I still negative when I see a dumbass type that on the internet? Why do I still call him a dumbass? Why am I still getting angry? It's probably your expectation. Or it's hard to love fate when fate says, forgive your enemy. Hard to love fate when it's saying you have to do the exact opposite. That's what God, and honestly, that's what God does. I hope you know that. Most of the time, God will push all of us into different scenarios by upsetting our expectation every single time. So it happens a lot in the Bible. He took his son. He was like, hey, you're going to save the world. Nice. How am I going to do that? You're going to die on a cross. And they're all going to make fun of you and criticize you. Hey, Jonah, you're going to go save these people and tell them this. You have to go into the middle of a Democratic center and yell Trump. He's like, nah, I'm not down. Every single person. You always get your expectation disappointed. That's the only way a lot of us will even let go will learn to love faith, fate everything, or even take it to the next level. Some of us don't want to go into the next level until something is taken away from us. Honestly, most of the time. You'll get comfortable. Some of you didn't, that's it. You hit one TLT, you said, fuck the long term. You're like, wow, it would be a good idea and do that, but nah. You had to lose half the TLT gains and then watch stocks go up to be like, okay, yeah, I got to go back. I should probably do that. So it happens to all of us. I told you guys that my first real estate property, flipped it. That's it. I held my third rental pretty much. It's the only one I still have till to this day. It's that same concept. So this is it's an important concept with expectations. A lot of them will get them disappointed. But this is what makes us not like it. And honestly, you had a different expectation, and when you don't love amor fati, when you don't love fate, and you're not accepting it, I'll tell you what it is. Okay? It means you don't have faith. You don't believe that the fate will work in your favor. Honestly, I'll tell you this. You say you believe, but clearly you don't. That's where the issue comes from. And are you ready? That's for me. That's what I came to my conclusion of. That's not about you. If you could apply it to yourself, God bless you. But that's what I realized this weekend. I said that to myself. I sat there with God. It was very, very humbling. I had to pull up on God and tell him, hey, man, I like certain things. And I said this and I say this honestly. That's why some guy was like, oh, what if I feel fake? Well, that's between you and God. Take that up with him. I had to. But I had to say, I was like, you know what? God, I don't have faith in certain areas. I said, I need more, but I really came down. I was like, why would certain things bug me? Is because clearly I'm saying that I believe in fate and that it's going to work out in my favor, but my actions don't show that faith. I'm a man of faith. I know how to do it. I said, the Colt's going to do this. You could see it in my actions when we started from day one. You won't see it now. You guys only see what you see today. But I know OG saw what it was. People thought I was damn insane. Even to this, it's when I will believe something based on my actions. But I cannot say I have faith in something and I love fate, but then every little chance I get, I'm trying to tweak the outcome. Honestly, I stopped flipping the coin. That's how I know. I don't have as much faith because I don't want the outcome. See what I'm saying? I don't want to have faith in whatever happens. I want to start controlling it. And that's what happens. Because if you really don't believe that concept and you really lack that faith, even if you say you do, it's going to make you feel weird. It's going to give you cognitive dissonance, but your actions are showing what you believe. You're tweaking it. You're like, yeah, I believe that everything's going to work out in my favor. But any moment you get, you're trying to exercise your will to just tilt it a little bit to the direction subconsciously you don't want to say it out loud. I know. And then it feels weird, and then you feel like this, and then you feel like you have faith, but then you don't. Because at the end, you just haven't manned up and said this. Like, that's what I felt. I felt a lot better. Oh, no, I feel great. I feel amazing. God is good. I had a great introspection with me and God. Honestly, I felt like God was just sitting there waiting for me and just like, finally, there you go. That's what he needed. He needed me to realize that and come to him and say, yo, I need this. Yo, wait, hold on. I needed that reminder that the faith isn't my philo. Faith isn't me telling you. Faith is what you see when I do a credit spread. I don't care. My actions know what I believe. Why do you think I let them sit there? I'm down 5,000, 10. I'll let it sit there every time. The long term, that's faith. That's amor fati. I don't care what happens. We let it sit there. You could see that. That's why I'm not changing things. So I'm not trying to alter it. I'm not trying to tweak it. It's very simple. But it's hard if you really don't believe. Like literally, if you really don't, and then it makes sense. That's why it's like, why would you get stressed? Because you truly believe then that it may not work out in your favor. Yes, it's natural to have doubt. But what are you acting on? Are you acting on the doubt, or are you acting on the faith? And at the end of the day, are you looking at your history to be able to say, amor fati, fate has worked in your favor? But that's the issue most of the time. That's why I said, why don't we amor fati at times? And I really just think it's just we say we believe, but we don't. That's it. Otherwise, it'd be reflected more in your actions. Honestly, it's like when God went up to that guy in the Bible. There's a story of the Bible. I've said this in the philo. We've talked about this. All right, the guy's sitting there. He's trying to get by the pool, the bubbling pool of Bethesda or whatever. He's trying to get healed. He's been there the whole time. And Jesus walks up to the dude. And then he says the most ridiculous question in the world to a paralyzed man who's never moved in his life, is sitting there trying to get healed day after day, year after year. He asks him, do you want to get better? Isn't that a ridiculous question? Oh, man. That's a ridiculous question. Nah, that's real. Is it? I think it's ridiculous. I really think it is. Think about it, because and it shows how we even view God. Like, do you think God is like actually like sitting above in heaven looking at you in your life, and even in that scenario, that he's just sitting there taunting people? Think about that. You really think God is this like football coach? He's like, you don't want it? No, you don't want it bad enough. Some people believe that. You know that too. I know a lot of people in church, that's how they view it. That's how they view God. They view God as if it's this like, it's like a football coach. It's like, what? Nah, he wasn't. Literally, the question was more, it seems like a stupid question, but it was more, the dude said, I can't. He said, it's because this is the rules on Sunday, and then this is this, and then this is that. He just said, listen, do you want to get better? That's a more fati, or do you love faith? Are you willing? He asked him if he's willing to break the system. That's it. He's saying, do you want to get better? It's just more like, hey, kind of like, it was just like a second confirmation where he's kind of saying, hey, like, you know, put your money where your mouth is, but he's not taunting him. He's not, you know, trying to do this. Nah. Just saying, if you really want, it's just a reminder in that sense of believing one more time. Even when you've tried everything, even when you're at this point, whatever it may be, the fate is you've done all this, but right here, right now, fate has led up to this moment. So what are you going to do? So this part, it's what I'm trying to, I guess, I forgot what I was relating this to. No, I still, to keep going. This connects to a lot of different things. A lot of different things in it. But it's just having that faith. That's what I'm saying. It's just saying, like, if you really do believe that there's, you know, prove it with your actions in a way, but it's not like, oh, if you prove it, you're never going to get this. No, but it's saying that your actions will reflect what you really believe. And try to remind yourself of that, because it's hard to accept what's happening if you really don't believe it. And pretty much what I'm trying to say is that, you know, have faith. God will carry out fate in your favor. Because when we don't, that's where the problems happen. When you don't amor fati, it's leading into all sorts of stuff because you don't accept fate, or you're scared and you're doubting it, and you think all this stuff isn't going to be there, so you try to change stuff. Or you're living in your own damn prison because you have to experience all that when nothing around you is changing. But it's very, very simple. With amor fati, if you love faith, if you say you believe and you really believe, you don't need to spend the time worrying. Your job is to focus. That's it. All you have to do is focus on your purpose, which you are in this world to do for you, your family, where your desires have aligned with, wow, why am I good at this? Why am I so interested in this? This is your purpose, dumbass. Wake up. And the other one is just loving people. That's it. That's what it breaks it down. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. You're here to accomplish something. You're here for a reason. I think every single one of you is. We're all here together. I mean, look at how all this worked out. God is good. But your job is to focus on those two things. And what I've learned, even after all of this, I said, man, when I try to control too much of the outcome with stuff, I lose that faith. I also lose my focus on what I'm supposed to be doing, or it could even lead me treating people unlovingly to try to tilt the outcome in my favor, because that's what's going to happen. You don't believe in the fate. You can't accept it for what it is. You're going to try to manipulate people. You're going to try to go to people for this. It may lead to bad things with people. Even vice versa. You're so focused on changing the outcome, you cannot focus on executing your purpose. Simple as that. You see, that's what happens. That's what I realized with me. In me, it's different stuff. Like real estate distracts me. That's what I realized. That's why. And then I would go off on lending tips. I feel bad. I should probably say sorry to him. But it's literally, I asked myself with that at times, and I already listened to the amor fati. I was blowing up on people all weekend for real estate. And I already listened to the amor fati. It just didn't fucking click. Because I was asking, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, why do I keep blowing up on this? But then I realized it's because all of these properties I've been looking for so long, I've been doing all these different things. I'm trying to execute my will instead of realizing, dumbass, every time you've ever done anything, whether it's worked out how you want it or not, you've always ended up winning. What are you crying about? What are you rushing about? What are you getting angry about? What's the issue? That's why I've even asked all of you. I said this on the Instagram. I was like, what do you really want? Like everybody wants, like everyone's like, you could criticize me, criticize this, criticize, like, what do you really want? Like, like people are like, oh, like this, like get rid of Donald Trump, get this. I was like, what do you really want? Don't tell me you just want Donald Trump gone. Don't tell me that's a start. What do you want? You want the racism to go away? No racism. Do you want everybody to be, tell me what you want. That's where we need it to be. That's what I came down to. It's like, what do you want, dude? Like, what are you trying to do all this for? And then if that's what you want, and that's clearly what you want, and that's what you set it up for, have the faith. You got to enjoy what's coming at you on that process, because if you know what you want, you're going to get there. The fate is how you deal with it. You got to love it, because it's gonna take you to different places. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't because we try to change it. It doesn't. It's just like stocks. The only person who's going to mess up your life and your fate is you. When fate happens, amor fati happens, and then we try to put our human hand in it and alter it. And yes, this will lead to another talk. Because what's the difference between being complacent and lazy and amor fati? I don't know. I really don't know. There's a fine line between lazy and fate. Be very, very careful. But also at the same time, trying to over-control every single thing and be a man of action. Always, do you see what I'm saying? Always trying to change everything and tweak every little thing. That's not it. Promise you. Doing nothing, that's not it. But I think it's just more the attitude. I don't think the difference is luck. By life, I'm not really lucky. Financial decisions, I've been lucky, but then I had the desire to succeed. That's it. People in my family didn't have the same financial luck I did. They didn't want the same thing I wanted. It's attitude. That's the difference. Amor fati, if you truly love fate and love what happens, if you truly have faith, Your attitude is really what's going to be the game changer. Your attitude is going to, because then you're going to say, hey, this happened, but it's okay. I'm ready to keep going. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to handle it. That's unfortunate, but I know, and I truly know, and I believe. That's why I'm not, that's it. Because think about it. Amor fati, fate happens. Whether you worked really hard or you did nothing at all, fate happens. And you truly don't love fate? You lose your faith, or maybe you don't have the faith at the time and you can't even do what I did and seek the faith? Because there's nothing wrong with saying you don't have faith. I did it yesterday, 2 days ago. I said, hey, run it up. I need help. Because I don't get it. I said, why do I feel like this? Why am I trying to change certain things in my life like this when other areas I wouldn't, and a few months ago, a year ago, I probably wouldn't have even done it? Why? I need a little faith. But imagine you do all that stuff, whether you work really hard or you're not. But your attitude might change things. Because then now, if you really don't love it and you're bothered by it, you work so hard, fate happens, you get hit with a black swan, a trade, you get sick. Think about it, you get sick. Fate. No one loves that. But your attitude as a result of handling fate is really, that may make you never do something ever again. You're going to be like, oh, it's hopeless. I can't believe I worked this hard in this. Now you're at it because your expectation was different. And then vice versa. Fate happens. You do nothing. You're lazy. But your attitude was that anyways. You know, you're going to say like, oh, see, look, if I even went outside, that would have happened. This is why I'm never going to try. It's your attitude. It's your attitude. So that's what I would say would find the balance. But above all else, amor fati. Truly enjoy and love fate. Love what happens. And why you should is because you know it's going to work out in your favor. And that's faith. And pretty much my conclusion for me and what I realize why I cannot amor fati at times and why I don't love it at times when certain things happen is because I don't really believe it. That's it. My attitude is negative towards it. There's certain things in my life that I want to hold on to or that I really, really like or that I can't change. It's hard to me to accept changes. So I don't want to. I say I could believe. I could talk real nice. You know, I could give you a philo. You would say, damn, this guy, wow. Whew. But I wasn't believing what it was. I have to truly internally believe it and accept it. And you could tell based on the actions. If I tell you I truly believe, it would be reflected in that. If I truly believe, I'm going to stop trying to put my hand in it. Same thing with you guys, honestly. I have faith in all of you. Tell me I don't. You can't. I've been here every day. Whether you give me $1 or not, whether the channel's monetized or not, but that's it doesn't matter what I say. It really doesn't. Because when it's all said and done, my action represents my faith in the cult and everything else. That's it, like straight up. But that's the same philosophy. It sucks, though. Because I have a good track record in that. So what do you think my reference point is? Because I'm looking back at that, I'm like, damn, that's true. If I really believe stuff, I would reflect it the same way. If I really was okay with this outcome, I would stop trying to change it. If I was really okay with this happening, I would try to change it. If I knew that the best investment is going to come my way, I shouldn't be mad if I missed one. Why would I try? That's just like, why would you try to chase it? Why would you try to do this? Why would you try? You see what I'm saying? But it's reflected in your actions. Some of you guys, it's like, you're like, oh, I believe everything's going to work out. Why are you laying in bed stressed out? Why are you thinking about the problem? Do you really believe? I love it. It happened. All right, word. The true faith that you love it's going to happen, you're not going to overthink it. You'll catch yourself doing it, and that's okay. But the idea is to catch yourself and just say and redirect it. That's why I just honestly just say it over and over again, amor fati. That's all. So, you're stressed with school. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to love fate. Whatever happens, whether you fail a test or not, but it's loving the process to know that it's going to work for you. I posted it on my story. It's amor fati. AMORFATA. Love fate. That's it. That's all it means. Amor fati. Love fate. That's all. So, I like it. But all around, like, let everything be reflected through your actions. In that sense. But if you're having trouble accepting fate and what's happening in life and this and that, the question I'll ask you is what I had to realize the other day. I'm telling you, I had to. It's like, do you believe or not? Do you really, really believe? Like, for real? Because, like, I wasn't in certain issues in my life. There's certain things I can. Certain things I'm unwavering. But that's always weird. But I said I had to sit down and really figure this out because I heard about it and I kept saying amor fati and I would say it, but it would just be words. It wasn't clicking with me. You see what I'm saying? Because I was saying it, but I was like, why do I keep still thinking about this? Why does this keep bothering me? Why do I keep, that's it. I was in growl mode the minute I was trying to change everything. That's why I had to ask. I was like, why? And then I had to be real with myself. I'm like, damn, I'm out here I'm saying something over and over again. I'm saying I believe it, and I'm saying I believe this, but like, it's not really reflected in how I'm acting. Because I know how I am with that type of stuff. I don't care. I don't try. I don't try to change it. I let what's going to happen is going to happen. It comes my way. And that is the key. And I think if all of you will do it, you'll be good. But it's very simple. It's just a real, do you believe or not? You know? Do you believe or not? And then ask yourself. That's all. And be easy on yourself, too. I hope you know. Like, no condemnation in any way. That's it. That's what somebody asked. Because even they're like, don't you feel fake with this? Or how do you... The God, I was like, dude, it's only fake when you bring other people involved. Like, whatever you do in your room is honestly really awkward and weird. I know what all of you do every day. Some of you do some weird shit. I don't know what you do. You're like, oh, it's natural. You're doing some nasty, dirty. Some of you singing to yourself. Some of you doing little skits in your room. I don't know. That's between you and you. It's not weird. It's only weird when I call it out. It's only weird if we put a camera on there. It's only weird if you tell somebody. Like, that's why I was like, it's just between you and God. Like, just be real with yourself. Look in the mirror. Like, do you know how hard that is? It's like hard and easy at the same time. To imagine to me just be able to be like, damn, God, like, I don't really believe. I believe this, I believe that, but like, I know there's things in my life I don't believe, dude. Whew. That's simple but not easy, but do you see what I'm saying? Like, you guys could have these real talks with yourself. Like, yeah, it's awkward for me to say this in front of 5,000 people. Like, screw you, okay? F all of you, because I have to go. I'm saying this in front of thousands of people. I got ran. Oh, this guy's like this. Oh, I'm not gonna watch this. Oh, like, who cares? But for you, your friends don't know about this. You don't need to tell anybody. For you to be introspective, for you to ask this and just be real with yourself. No one's gonna know. It's not gonna be awkward. It's just only gonna be you dealing with some. You might disappoint yourself. Oh well. Like, think about it. It's easy. It really is. That's why it's like, what's stopping you? Because I had to say, eventually, I had to get to that point where I was like, why can't I figure this out? Why do I keep saying these words and I don't feel it and I don't know it? And you see, it's one thing to feel thing and it's one thing to know something. And I felt like I knew those words, but it just wasn't clicking. And it's just because I said, dude, I don't believe it. I'm sitting here just saying this like, oh, everything's going to be okay. It's like, no, I don't believe it. That's it. Because if I'm going to say those words and I really believe it, I'm going to stop trying to force my will in any area that it's related to. So that's what it is. But then at the same time, that's for all of you to do it and do it on your own. These are your reminders. And I'm glad I could share this with you. And I'm glad I could tell you this because you guys have a better opportunity than I do. Like I'm saying, you go and introspect, you ask yourself what you really believe or not. You're really saying, what do I have faith in? Give a real honest, reflection of what you did. That'll be good, but it's not here to condemn you. I'm not here to say you're a good Christian, you're bad, you believe in a Christian or not. I'm not even a Christian. I don't know. I don't even identify as that. I'm not here. People say, oh, you do this. You know how many people say that to me? You guys see it, but you don't have to deal with that. I'm not here to condemn you. And neither should you, and neither is any. When you go and reflect, I don't think I got condemned with what I did yesterday or 2 days ago to come to that conclusion, that tell God, hey, I believe this, I think I'm this, but I don't believe this. It's not like you get beat how I was raised. It's not like if you change channel. You know what I'm saying? No. Only thing that's going to come from that is growth and learning. And maybe it won't happen instantly, but it'll take some time, and you're going to learn something. So, amor fati. Enjoy fate. Love fate. And why don't you love it? Because you don't really have faith in it. You don't really believe it. You don't believe that concept. And the first step, if you don't believe that concept, is saying, I don't believe it. And then figuring out why don't I believe that? How is it reflected? It's hard to believe. What am I doing? Or if you say you do believe it, then why are you still stressing on that stuff? That's what it is. Like, love your neighbor as you love yourself. I have faith in God. Amor fati. That means love fate. Whatever happens, I have faith. I know that if I love you, love my neighbor as I love myself, what's going to happen? Doesn't matter. I doesn't matter whether that person's mean to me, whether that person does this, whether they're going to hurt me or not. It's saying I do have faith in, if you really believe that concept and had faith, you would love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's why some people don't want to help people. People are like, what if they hurt me? What if they do this? And I feel the same way at times. And that's why you have to find the balance. But your faith will be reflected through those actions. All right? So, I love all you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really hope you think about this, and I really hope you guys, ask yourself what it is. There's a lot to it. Maybe listen to this again. But it was good for me. And shout out to all the people, honestly. So even, Selena, all jokes aside, shout out to Selena. Thank you for sending me something good. Thank you. That's why I love this community, where you guys are just sending stuff like that, sending positivity, sending good information. But then in all of us, that's what I'm saying, even to share this with you guys, if you could understand the catharsis that I've received from this was a big deal for me. And that's why I hope for you guys that you could see it. For you, though, we're just let it be reflected. Stop trying to change so much. But amor fati, really enjoy it. And you guys will see. But also, I want you guys to utilize your privacy. Utilize the privacy in your own room, in your own house. Because these concepts are deep, difficult. People don't like to talk about them. It makes you feel a lot of ways, but it's usually when you add outside people. That's why I'm thankful for you guys to allow it. Because, imagine being around more people than not who won't judge you for this. It doesn't matter whether you're talking God or not, spiritual, you sound like a wacko. Well, you know what I'm saying? So all in all, it's beautiful. But then you also have your responsibility to do that on your own to a degree. Honestly, I want you to all philo on yourself, but this is a good reminder to think about right now. Amor fati. Do you truly love fate? What parts of your life don't you love it, and why not? What's so hard to accept? Maybe you don't get it. There's a lot. So, I hope this helps you guys as much as it did with me. I hope none of you condemn yourself for anything. If I could leave it at any point, I do want to leave it at that, even though faith is important. amor, fati, faith is, love is important, all these stuff, doing that. Let your actions reflect it, but don't condemn yourself. I will have to say, because I could have spent that whole weekend, I could have came to all those conclusions, and it could have just turned into me just beating myself up. I hope you know that. And it would have been very unproductive. No one's taunting you. No one's here to point the finger at you. We need to know what's wrong so you could get up. That's it. I'm not asking you what's wrong.